Hi, I'm Daphne Eiking. I'm a TV journalist, a producer, as well as a TV anchor for a few shows. I'm from an ethnic group, a minority group from Sabah in Malaysia, and I'm Kadazan girl. And when I sort of started seeing or hearing or listening to other things in my life, I took it as a pretty much of a normal thing. And the only person who I dare tell is my mum. And mum would say, you know, I think you're a gifted girl because my grandmother, that would be my great-grandmother, mum was saying, is actually a bobohizan, which is a traditional healer. When I was in USM, Penang, I was also doing my master degree as well as working for the local television station at that time. I had to travel back and forth, up and down Penang to KL to do my classes as well as to work at the same time. Most of the time I'll go in early mornings where it's around 5, 6. For that particular day, my cousin and his colleague decided to join me on that ride. We left quite late, after midnight. So he was at the back, and then I asked him, I said, hey, right? And I was waiting for a response from him, and he didn't answer. So I looked up at the mirror, and I saw his eyes just staring at me. But in a very strange way, because his eyes were really big. So I turned around, and he was sleeping. His eyes were closed. And he was, you know, his arms were on his chest, sleeping like that. And at that point of time, and this is the eerie part, was when he touched me on the shoulder. And I turned around, and again he was at that same position where he's sleeping, and I'm like, stop playing around. Stop playing around, you're freaking me out. Of course, when we reached the destination, I asked him, I said, dude, do you know what happened? Were you fooling around? Were you know? And he swear to God he didn't. I mean, and I know because he's such a sweetheart. He doesn't lie. He's not that sort of person. But at the same time, I didn't want to go too much into telling him what exactly happened because I didn't want to freak him out. As years passed on, we just moved to a new place. This strange guy that I've been noticing for the past few months, it's this old man, about 70 years old. The reason why I find him so odd was because when I do see him around the neighborhood, around the houses, there were lots of mineral water bottles around him. The funny thing is, he's usually by the swings. One day I decided to go and look at him, or to see if this guy's for real or am I just imagining stuff. So I went to touch the bottles and they were real. And he would pick it up, but somehow, I didn't know why I didn't want to try and touch him or talk to him. Now, coming back to Isabel, for that first time I stopped nearby to the playground because she started waving to the uncle and the uncle actually waved back. And I'm like, Belle, can you see the uncle? And she said, there, uncle. So I said, so you can see that uncle? My boyfriend then was still in the car getting some stuff. At that time, that's when I found out Isabel could actually see the person. So we were talking. He asked me, who are you guys talking to? Who is Isabel waving to? And I said, can't you see? And he said, no. And then I knew for sure it was just Isabel and myself who could see whatever. I'm surrendering to the fact that Isabel can see. I pity her because I know how I went through. But at the same time, I feel so relieved that I've got a friend who can see these things, who will understand what I'm feeling.